Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the One Pot Wonder. We are in session 9, which means that we've done 8 full sessions of 6 weeks, and we're just going into class 2 of the 9th session, so not to confuse everybody. So just want to give a great big thank you to everybody that's been helping us along the way with volunteering, behind the scenes with cameras, the co-op who have been helping us to do our orders and get things ready for us to bring back to the church. We have the food center and the food bank in Brockett and the food center here in Pincher. The Creekside Community Church as well. We have various staff from Napi Friendship Center that come in and help us. And if it wasn't for the Napi Friendship Center, we wouldn't do this program. So great big shout out to the association and to all of the donations that have come in. You guys have been amazing, and that's what makes this program work. So for today, we are doing a really simple, easy recipe, and it's called a One-Skillet sausage peppers with rice. It's not hot peppers, it's just flavorful peppers. So you should have in your bag some onions and some garlic. Yay, every recipe seems to have onions and garlic. You'll have some sausages, some rice. I did not put oil in your bags. Hopefully you'll have a little bit of oil. That is for your rice, as well as just to start off your sausage. But your sausage has quite a bit of fat juice in it, so you may not even want to use the oil. So you should have some Italian seasoning as well, some salt and pepper, and that'll get you started. So first off, what I've done is I've pre-cut and chopped the garlic and the onions and some of the peppers. And oh, you know what we're missing? We're missing the broth. The broth is over there. You should have some chicken broth or beef broth in your bags as well. And so that combined with the rice and everything together, it's like kind of a skillet, and you'll see that in your recipe in your bag. So we're going to get started, and we'll meet you over at the stove. So I had identified to just meet me at the stove, but I got a little bit squirreled, thinking that maybe I should do up this meat first. So I just wanted to give you an option, which is actually, I like doing it this way better, just because it disperses the meat when you don't have a huge amount of meat in your sausages. And if you take it out of the casing, you can just cut it back, and then it peels off. So then when you're cooking, your casing actually will, it won't be there. So you can just cook it kind of almost like you're cooking a hamburger, like a crumbled sausage. So it's, you can certainly leave it on and just cut it into slices like you would with, if you're doing a sausage and cheese or something, you can just do it in slices. But I like to do the meat without the casing, because then, like I said, it just cooks better, and it's very easy to take the casing off. So I have the water on for the rice. Now in your recipe, you're going to notice that it calls for minute rice, but long grain rice is much better for you, and it has much more flavor. So I have put in your bags the long grain rice, and that's why in writing beside the rice it says you need to double your water to your per cup of rice. So depending on how much rice you're going to use, so for example, if you're using 1 cup of rice, you're going to use 2 cups of water, versus if you were using minute rice, you would use equal. So I am cooking the rice separate from the recipe where you put everything in one pot. I'm going to add the long grain rice in after, and then so you'll need to adjust your broth a little bit, but we'll go through that as we start to cook. So now we're going to go over to the stove and we'll meet you there. So I've started, the first step is to cook your sausage. So I've just broken it up into pieces, and as it cooks you can break it down a little bit more, and it will start to crumble for you. And then we're going to add, the onions in during this step and cook that together. So once your sausage is cooked and your onions are sauteed, so that's kind of transparent color, then we're going to add in the peppers and the garlic, and we're going to, rather than cooking, I know I said we'd cook the rice separate, but I think we'll just add it all in together so then there's no confusion. So the only difference is what's on your recipe, and your long grain rice requires 2 cups of liquid to 1 cup of rice. So you're going to have 4 cups of your chicken broth, which you will get 4 cups out of your broth that's in your bag. So you're going to use that whole container to 2 cups of rice. And so once we have this cooked, then we're going to put the broth into the sausage, and then we're just going to let it simmer until the rice is complete. And we're going to let this cook, and we'll be back. Okay, so I've got the sausage and onions pretty much cooked, and there's a little bit of fat from the sausage, not a huge amount, but we're going to leave that because you need that to help with your rice and your peppers, to help kind of so that nothing all sticks together. So we're going to put peppers in, and we're going to put our broth in. Now this is 4 cups of broth to 2 cups of long grain rice, because this is not minute rice. So it's going to take longer to cook, and so you're just going to let this, I would put your temperature on between medium and high, not on high. And then we're just going to stir it occasionally, cover it with a lid, and you're just going to let it be. And we'll throw this lid on. So I would say, I would give yourself at least 20 minutes. So once you start to see that this is bubbling, then turn down your heat and then just let it simmer for, like I said, about 20 minutes. And we'll come back with the finished product, and we'll see you soon. So I just wanted to show you the process. I just wanted to show you the process as it's starting to cook. So you won't have any liquid in this when it's finished. We just have to keep letting the rice cook and just give it an occasional stir as it's doing its magic. So we're going to let this continue to cook, and we'll be back shortly. All right, so 20 minutes later, we have our creation of a sausage and pepper casserole. So something I did want to mention, in your casserole, or in your recipe, I mean, it says to have 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 of a cup of Italian leaves or seasoning. You do not need that much seasoning unless you really like Italian. I only used a teaspoon, but you can use what you like according to your recipe. You can also add in some different vegetables if you like. There's a huge variation of ways you can do it. So, but this is now complete, and it is, I think it's going to be very yummy. I've never made this before, but it certainly looks very good. So and that being said, I hope you're having a great day. Take care of yourself and each other, and we'll see you next week.